Welcome to the Chuncheon Song Sports Town Stadium in Korea Republic as local side Gangwon prepare to face Shanghai Shenhua of the People's Republic of China in the Asian Football Confederation's Champions League Elite. And for Gangwon, it is a night they are unlikely to ever forget as they travel to a galaxy far, far away. The club from the north of the country is just minutes away from making its continental debut in Asian club football. Never before has Gangwon contested any match at this level, and after a sensational campaign in K-League 1 last time around, when they finished second, they are heading straight into the top tier club event on the continent, not passing through the Champions League 2, as it were, or the third tier competition, but straight into Asian club football's most prestigious tournament. Standing in their way are a far more seasoned side, Shanghai Shenhua, contesting the group stage of the AFC Champions League, now the Champions League Elite, of course, for the 10th time. These sides are among the 12 teams that will contest the Eastern region, another 12 in the Western one, of course, the group phase, which has got underway this week, ending in February. The top 8 in each of the regional groups will progress to the round of 16, and whoever makes it through that stage will qualify for the 8-team finals, which will be hosted by Saudi Arabia, just as it did last year in April. And the challenge is on to find out who will replace, if anyone, Al Ali of Saudi Arabia, who won their first title a few months ago and started their defense of that title in thrilling style on Monday. 2-0 down they were at home to Nazaf of Uzbekistan before rallying with 2 goals in stoppage time to win 4-2 and show that a side featuring the likes of Riyad Mahrez and Ivan Toney will be there or thereabouts at the end of the season. Well, what about these two teams? As we see supporters of Shanghai Shenhua, the Chinese side took part in the inaugural Asian Champions League campaign way back in 2002, and they'll be looking to build on their campaign last time around when they reached the knockout stage of this competition for the first time in nearly 2 decades. As for those supporters, the ones wearing red, well, this is, as said, uncharted territory. Quite the contrast. They were founded 6 years, Gangwon, after the first Asian Champions League. So just being here today means a great deal. And the club knows that it is likely to have much to learn as it sets off on its latest footballing adventure. Gangwon, one of 3 Korean sides in the league. Ulsan HD, the sole team in the pool to have lifted the trophy. Shanghai Shenhua, one of 3 Chinese sides in the league, along with city rivals Shanghai Port and the debutants and current Chinese Super League leaders Chengdu Rongchan. As we see the ball, a new ball on show for this new season. It's called the Paradise. And it's going to take one team to a higher plane when this competition kicks off next year, or ends, culminates next year, as we get ready to welcome the teams out to the stadium. Capacity of 20,000 fans still coming in ahead of Gangwon's Asian club bout. Well, what a moment for all of those involved with Gangwon AFC, as their team on the right of your screen, with Shanghai Shenhua on the left in blue, come out for their first ever game at this level, the Champions League Elite. And how will they fare? Currently lying 6th in the K-League Gangwon after 29 games. The 12-team league ends in November. It began in February, so coming to the end of the season, Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors way out in front to the top of K-League 1, 20 points clear. Shanghai Shenhua, well, they've got the Chinese Super League title in their sights again. Second last season, missed out so narrowly on lifting the title. And they are third in the Chinese Super League, just 3 behind Chengdu Rongchen. 6 games left, and first Chengdu Rongchen, second Shanghai Port, and third Shanghai Shenhua in the CSL. And all those 3 sides contesting the Champions League Elite as well. Well, there are a smattering of players who do have some AFC Champions League Elite experience already. In Gangwon. Far more experienced side in blue, of course. Back-to-back qualifications for this tournament for Shanghai Shenhua for the first time since 2007. As we see the starting lineups, well, the coach Chung Kyung-ho has made wholesale changes to the side that won 3-2 against FC Seoul in the league on Friday. 11 changes, the entire team. Vitor Gabriel, he's one of the joint top league scorers in the league for the club with 4 goals. And various names on the substitutes bench, all involved in that league game, all bar 1 against Seoul on Friday. The referee today from Bahrain, Mahfoud. As you can see, the VAR officials coming from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. On the left of your screen, Kim Kang-woo, the Gangwon captain, as we see that Shanghai Shenhua lineup led by Ju Chenjie, the centre-back. Also changes aplenty made by their coach Leonid Slutsky. Just 3 players remain from the side that drew 3-3 against Shandong Taishan in their last league game. And look at that bench, pretty slim. As you can see, just the 8 players on it. Gangwon having named 12 on theirs. How will the nerves affect them? Will their passionate home fans be able to push Gangwon through? They've won their last 2, the home side, but those are their only victories in their last 8 games. So they've not won too many. The flip side is they haven't lost too many either. Gangwon just 1 defeat in those 8 games. As for Shanghai Shenhua, well, the visitors arrived with 1 victory from their last 6. And missing some key personnel from last season's Champions League Elite campaign. So as you may hear, the countdown to kick-off begins. So we are underway in Gangwon FC of Korea Republic have made their bout in Asian club football, and specifically in the AFC Champions League Elite, playing from left to right in the red shirts and red socks with the black shorts, and the visitors, the Chinese Super League side, Shanghai Shenhua from right to left, all in blue. As we see, the 45-year-old in charge of Gangwon, Kyung-ho, a former player with the club 2009 to 2011, and he was assistant coach to the man who took the club to their best ever position in the K-League last season when finishing second. And then, surprisingly, Yoon Jong-hwan, well, despite being named Manager of the Year in 2024 in Korea Republic, he chose to take charge of a side that was relegated to K-League 2 last season, Incheon United. And as he made that perhaps unexpected move, Kyung-ho, his assistant, came in and took charge. He's a first-time manager, so it's not an easy start for him, but he's fairly bedded in now. 29 games in the league. So some decent results there as well. A 1-0 away win over league leaders Jeonbuk, and a 2-1 win away as well against K-League champions Ulsan HD. How will he get on in his first foray into Asian club football? And some early touches for Gangwon, exactly what they need just to settle down. And there's Leonid Slutsky, the 54-year-old Russian, in his second season with Shanghai Shenhua. And he said before the game that it's all about getting the balance right as they chase a first top-tier title in Chinese football since 1995. And they are, he said, right in the mix. With 6 games to go and just 3 points behind. And he said we're in a difficult position, their coach, as we're fighting for the CSL. We have to think about our next game there. We're trying to be successful in both the league and the Champions League Elite. Interesting to hear him using the word difficult to describe his side's plight. Good problem for the experienced Russian coach to have. And they've settled down nicely, Gangwon, and finding the players, finding the man, everybody getting a touch on the ball, and this will really serve them well, one would have thought. Into the middle it goes. We're looking for Vitor Gabriel, the Brazilian striker. 4 goals from his 24 league games so far for the 25-year-old. Not the greatest return, but an improvement on last year when he failed to score but had a bad knee injury. Decision goes Shanghai Shenhua's way. And again, just slightly heavy with the contact. Park Ho Young. Left arm. There's the opposite number as he steamed on through. So a first opportunity from a set piece for the visitors. That's hit with good pace as well. Solid header to clear it away. They've barely got a foot on the ball, the Chinese. And finally, a bit of territory in the final third of Gangwon. congested in there as they try to go down the flanks. Gao Chieni just playing it back. Zhu Chenjie. The skipper, Zhu, looking down the left-hand side for Wang Xilong. Nice enough ball down this corner of the pitch, but just a little bit too much for Wang to chase. Cho Hyun-tae, just 20 years of age. And that's nice again from Gangwon. And there's a little bit of space as well on the right-hand side, but he's forced wider than he'd like to be. Body's in the middle, nice ball into the byline and well defended as well. João Carlos Teixeira gliding past several players before he just ran into Kim Gang-woo. Just down on his haunches, Teixeira, 32-year-old. He was once on the books of Liverpool in the Premier League, where he is hailed as the new Deco. After the Portuguese international of that name, the midfielder. He's made the 2 league appearances for Liverpool. He fulsome praise after one match from Steven Gerrard, no less. Just the 8 appearances in total for the club a while ago now. Did score for them though in the FA Cup. And now it's Gangwon's turn to be able to test Shanghai Shenhua from a set piece. Gao, key man in that midfield for the visitors, the defensive midfielder. Suspended for a league game at the weekend was Gao. Back in the side like many are. So Bao, Xiong, Shanghai Shenhua, goalkeeper just getting his defence set for the first time this game. Deep in it goes, and that's causing all sorts of problems. And Gangwon had the ball in the back of the net, but the celebrations cut short and muted because instantly the flag was up. And it shows what they can do. Devilish ball in. And the visitors just simply didn't deal with it, where you can clearly see 2 men offside, one of which was Vitor Gabriel. Took it nicely enough, but clearly offside. And a good decision from the assistant referee. But that will give encouragement to the Korean side. And we do not look overawed in any way as they come down the left-hand side now. And you can hear the crowd, how excited they get as the flowing moves and attacking spirit from Gangwon chimes with their desires. Zhu Teixeira. Well, there's space on the right-hand side if he wants to go there. He's taking his time. And eventually he does open it up onto that right-hand side. Really touch for Yang Hao-yu. Nicely cushioned attempted header from Xu Haoyang. And a bit of space at the other end for Gangwon. Took Gabriel in the middle. Fancies themselves to get round his man, but that's good defending from Wong. Kim To-hun. Very much taking the game from his opponent on this right-hand flank, just 21 years of age. To-hun. And Vitor Gabriel, who can only find a player in blue. Looking to play it through the eye of a needle and broken up, and a chance for Shanghai Shenhua on the counter to come forward. Teixeira. Xu and Yang in the middle. Play forward. Teixeira again. Nice turn from Gao. To play it out to Jin Shun-kai on the right-hand side. They're just taking their time as to find a bit of space, all very, very congested. Liu Chengyu just cannot get the control he wants, but he managed to keep it in play. And there'll be another throw to Shanghai Shenhua. Liu, just 19 years of age, is young. Forward. Already, a man who's won caps for the People's Republic of China, Liu Chengyu. Well worth keeping an eye on. High hopes for Shanghai Shenhua. Striker for both club and country. Jin. And they were looking inside to Liu. And instead it's Kang Uk who comes forward. To Jin. He finds Gao. And that's nicely played. Just wayward with the pass in the end. Vitor Gabriel gets his head down and just goes onto his left foot, lets fly. A really important block came in as well. But he only had one thought in his mind, the Brazilian. And it took a combination of two at the back from Shanghai Shenhua to deny him. Got the head down and just drove forward. Good block in the end. Coming in from Jin. Literally putting his back into it. And he came up through the youth setup at Flamengo in Brazil. Vitor Gabriel. And made just over a dozen or so appearances for the famous Brazilian club. Never actually scored for them. And here he is, the man who joined Gangwon in 2023, but he's watching his side do a little bit of defending for now. Gao just trying to feed it through. And keep your eye on the number 17 for Shanghai Shenhua. He's got the most amount of assists for his side in the league this season, a joint league high of 8 for Gao. And the thing that will be regretful in the eyes of the players and their coaches, the fact that Saulo and Andre Luis, 2 more Brazilians and their 2 top scorers, not just in the league this season, but also in the Champions League Elite last season, are both out injured. Neither of them will be coming back before roughly the middle of next month. And so that's 15 league goals this season and 7 Champions League Elite goals last season that they cannot call upon. It's only increasing the onus on the burden of the young 19-year-old here, trying to get on the end of it. Liu. She made his professional debut in the Champions League Elite last season, coming on as a sub against Australia's Central Coast Mariners in November last year. He made his first full start in the competition as well. Mixing it up a little. Gangwon, they went forward fluently in the opening stages. We've seen a bit of a counter-attack now, and there's a bit more patience from the Korean side. They've got themselves a throw-in over on that far side. Well, they're the 14th team from Korean Republic to qualify for Asian football's top-tier club competition, Gangwon. What sort of impact can they make on themselves at corner? One with the block. A little drop of the shoulder. Tohan. And then the attempted cross coming in from Che Pyeongchan. Deep in it goes, and blue head meets it and gets it away before Shu Ha-yang. He's taking his time to get it away, and in the end he's got caught. And he took his eye off the ball there. Then he slipped as he tried to win it back in. He was fortunate in some ways to be clattered into by Bo Punta. A little quieter without the singing supporters. Uchi Peng. You see held up by Yang. Hao Yu, one of 2 Yangs in the side. Yang Sixiang plays further back, the other. Wong just wrestling Kang Uk. And incurring the referee's whistle as he does so. They were only founded in December 2008, Gangwon, just 17 years ago, and done so just in time to be able to feature in the 2009 edition of the K-League. First ever match was that year, and after something of a difficult start in the early years, bouncing around near the bottom of the table, they did actually drop down into K-League 2 in 2013. So they bounced back to Gangwon in 2016, and they've been in K-League 1 ever since. And until last season, they had never finished higher than 6th in the K-League. But what a season they had. They had the most points, most wins, most goals. And for a club that has never won a trophy, finishing second in the hierarchy of Korean football, not to be sniffed at. Korea Republic, the most successful country in the top tier of Asian club football, having seen its teams crowned Asian kings on 12 different occasions. That's 4 more than the next best nation, Japan. It's produced 8 Champions League or Asian champions. Based in the north of Korea Republic are Gangwon. And it's nicely played through the middle. Bit of space on the right-hand side if they can play it early. They're very happy just to keep possession, Gangwon. And serving them well so far. Tohan. Gang just trying to get it back, but they managed to do that really well. Very tightly congested at times, this game. And a switch of play. Out to the far side, Punta. Onto his right, and he's got too much on it. No, into the middle it goes. Vitor Gabriel, another chance, possibly. No. Well, he just didn't get it right. He didn't really get his body in the right position from the knockback, but that was an excellent opportunity for the home side. We've already had the ball in the back of the net once, disallowed early on. Well, this was well created. And a really good opportunity for that man. Bao just nursing his ankle. The knockback was there. He just took it early, just didn't get anything on it. And then the ball would sit down for him. Alex, excellent ball back across goal. And you can see what Kyung-ho thinks of that. The man who played in the Olympics, went to the Asian Cup, went to the World Cup, did the Gangwon FC coach for Korea Republic. That's some 20-odd years ago. I think he'll be pretty happy so far with what he's seen from his side. 4 games at home in the campaign, 4 away for all the sides in the regional leagues. And with Gangwon welcoming the likes of Chida Zelvia, another of the new boys in this campaign. Shanghai Porter, city rivals of their visitors today. And taking on Vissel Kobe, as well as Japan at home. Teams they will have seen on the television many, many times. It's not in person. We haven't seen too much from the Chinese Super League side as an attacking force. Can that change? Teixeira goes down. So far, they've just been really restricted to their one set piece that was delivered into the middle, but they've yet to test Kwang Yon in the Gangwon goal. Gao with the delivery. Calmly left by Kwang Yon. Turned 26 last week, the Gangwon goalkeeper. Kanguk. Hyuntae. Kanguk again. Oh, that's well played by Liu. Just to take it off the toes of Kanguk, who didn't know he was there. Excellent defensive play by the main man up top for Shanghai Shenhua. And there's Bao. Just hits it long, and Wang Yong will encourage his side to build again from the back. Kanguk really scrapping and struggling. He wins the free kick as well under pressure from Yang Hao-yu. There he is, the 19-year-old. A little over-eager. Can they properly test Bao? And the Shanghai Shenhua goal. Kanguk standing over it. So too Hong Che, veteran defender. Looks like it's going to be Kanguk, the central midfielder, to deliver. As he does, and there's a free head at the back as well. Well, they ran in a little bit too early in the end, meaning the ball was a bit behind them, but they're still on the attack, Gangwon. Going to need some support. He's won the throw-in. Going to get a lot more than that. Tohan. Well, it was a really good ball in from Kanguk. Maybe worth seeing again as Tohan, the 21-year-old, tried to keep it alive. A bit loose, but they win it back. Everything seemingly going through Kanguk at the moment. Into the middle it goes, a little deflection as well. And it could have made it difficult for Bao. And actually, in the end, worked somewhat in his favour. Instantly, he looks to get Liu away. Park Ho-young with the header. Shu into Teixeira, who just pulls the strings from the heart of the midfield. Loose on that occasion. Vitor Gabriel, nice touch over the top. Tohan with room outside him. And he finds Pyeongchan. And he's just held off it. No infringement in the eyes of the Bahraini official. Teixeira. Open it up on the right-hand side. Yang Hao-yu. Into Liu. And it was a really ambitious first touch, just instep of his right foot. Inventive, though, from the tee. And he backed himself to get around his opposite number as well and get the strike away in the end. Almost a little bit too much of himself. But you can see the invention. 4 goals from his 13 games in the league this season so far for Liu Chengyu. full of running so far. Yet to have a shot or note or any real opportunity. And that's well played from Vitor Gabriel, showing really good strength to play it into Pyeongchan. And he's looking for the 1-2 as well. Pyeongchan, he just couldn't get it past Wong in the end. And still they come. And that is an infringement. He had a good old look at that. And the referee. And he's explaining to the 25-year-old skipper of Shanghai Shenhua exactly why that is. A free kick, but good run from Pyeongchan. Joined the club at the start of the year to the 29-year-old. And he stretched the Shanghai Shenhua defense on both sides in the opening half hour or so of this inaugural Champions League Elite encounter for both these sides. Gangwon, the debutants, the Chinese Super League side, looking to make it into the knockout stage. Only the third time in their history, having done it last season for the first time ever, should they get there this time around in back-to-back campaigns. To the back stick it goes again. Now there was a connection, but only into the side netting. And they are causing problems, these deliveries. And they are finding players in red. And there was always a very, very tight angle for Hyun Tae. From there, not helped by having three figures clad in blue all around him. And they have a reputation for buying undervalued players who they then progress to Gangwon. And one of their stars, as they got to the runner-up spot in the K-League last season, was Yang Min-hyuk. Scored 12 in the league. Young Player of the Year he was named, and it was picked up by Premier League side Tottenham Hotspur as a result. Spurs have since sent him out on loan to Championship sides on each season. Currently with Portsmouth is Yang Min-hyuk, but highly rated by Tottenham. And certainly a sign for these fellow players once with him in Gangwon that the world is watching. Nicely dipped into the middle, but really over Vitor Gabriel, who just gives a little look to his right as if to say, what was that? And he just needed more bodies in the box. Well, Gangwon happy with the decision by the referee that went Gangwon's way. Inventive again, looking for Vitor Gabriel, and just a little nudge in the back from the Brazilian on Jin. As you can see, absolutely no hard feelings whatsoever. Nice to see. Smiles between the two. You can clearly see the elbow just pushing Jin while he's in the air. All his youth career at Shanghai Shenhua, Jin, club career too. Well, I think the only thing that will possibly displease the Gangwon coach is the fact that his side have not managed to make their superiority, certainly in terms of possession. And that smattering of opportunities count more, and they do so in the 10 minutes that remain before the half-time break. Neat, tidy passing from Gangwon. Oh yeah. Kang Uk, who does like to drop deep to pick it up. Yun Ilok on our left-hand side. A nice switch of play as well. Tohan drops the shoulder. He's looking to work it onto his left and possibly get the shot away. Teixeira now goes down. Does really well to buy his side a free kick and just take the sting out of that move from Gangwon. Shoot. Teixeira again just knew the tackle was coming. Took the free kick a little too early, blown up for it. Unimpressed to have been done so, the 32-year-old. And he's still going, the Portuguese. Nice ball round the corner. And here goes Shu. Ball into the middle as well. Gets cleared away and finds a player in red. That was adroitly dealt with. Wong trying to keep up the pressure. Vitor Gabriel, well, he's using his strength again, and all Zhu can do is just haul him down. And it's the physicality of Vitor Gabriel which is causing problems for his opponents. Physical presence. But he's working hard. Vitor Gabriel, will he get his reward? Will he get another chance? He's already had two. One disallowed for offside, one he just simply didn't connect with. In the fashion he'd have liked. As Kang Uk is going to launch another ball in, the 28-year-old. And they've sent the bodies forward as well. There was no one near it, and quite why Bao chose to punch rather than gather. It's a mystery. He had all the time in the world just to put his two hands on the ball. Vitor Gabriel calling for it, and in it comes. Important header from Jin. And just heavy in the end from Tohan. Teixeira. A little bit of a shirt pull. Still they have it. The visitors from China PR. And Teixeira opens it up to this right-hand side. And Shu is pitched up. It's on the left, on the right. Jin. That's loose. Easily cut out. Kang Uk, space on the left. And they're taking their time. And any element of surprise has gone, and they've allowed Shanghai Shenhua to get bodies behind the ball, and just needed to get the ball, one would have thought, forward a little more quickly on that occasion. Gangwon bounces up and over Tohan. And Shanghai Shenhua, won't mind that. They're getting accustomed to playing sides from Korea Republic in the group stage of Champions League Elite. 3 separate meetings with Korean teams last year. Beat Pohang Steelers at home, but they were beaten at home by Ulsan HD. And then they also took on Gwangju in Korea Republic as well. And they lost that. Shanghai Shenhua, so something of a mixed record. Forward it goes, cut out by Ju. Just kept alive, Kang Uk. And I see spread out wide. Better numbers in the box now. 3 just in and around the edge of that 6-yard box. Will the ball come in? Not as yet. Just too much on that from Gao. Kangwon just gently pulls the strings from the deep-lying midfield position he likes to occupy. Sohan, Hyuntae. Vito Gabriel, just caught. Wu Qipeng, the 18-year-old, with the infringement, and once again now towards the end of the half, another free kick from this sort of position. Hongche, 33, he was aged 34, he turns 35 on Wednesday. Standing over it again. Kang-uk. Is he thinking about a striker goal? He's not. He leaves it for Che, who does strike a goal. And it wasn't a million miles away either from the veteran. And he's won this competition on 2 separate occasions, trying to find the breakthrough and break the deadlock. Not the worst effort at all. Just couldn't get it down quickly enough. Very, very experienced man. Nearly a half-century of appearances for Korea Republic from 2011 to 2022, including travelling to 2 World Cups. Che on the ball now. Won the competition in 2010. 2020, the first time with Seongnam, Gangwon Chunma, and the second time with Ulsan HD. Shanghai Shenhua have never really flowed in this opening period. So they'll be certainly aiming to go down the tunnel with parity at least. Can Gangwon get it right this time around? Kang-uk again. It does find a red head, and it will count as a shot on target. But it didn't really have any power, of course. A comfortable save for Bao. Just the 1 additional minute. Well, Shanghai Shenhua, if they could score here, really would be snatching something from a First half in which they've really not threatened. Can they do so? Teixeira with the final strike of the half. And the first goal of the game. And Shanghai Shenhua, who have been second best for much of this opening period, have taken the lead against the run of play. All the efforts of Gangwon, the tournament debutants, come to naught. And João Carlos Teixeira just stuffed that past Yi Kwang-yong in first half stoppage time. Give the Chinese Super League side the lead. And he looks as if he always knew it was coming. And he was in a little bit of space, cut inside. It really was simple. Simplicity itself in the end. And the shot just too hot to handle for the Gangwon goalkeeper. It wasn't too far from him, to his left or his right, but straight down the gullet. Good Yi Kwang-yong. Done a little bit better with that. You can see the thoughts of the coach. He will be absolutely delighted to have seen his side soak up some light pressure, let's say, before finding the goal right at the end of the first period to ensure that the more experienced side in Asian club competition, Shanghai Shenhua, of course, go into the half-time break. A goal to the good, thanks to that strike from João Carlos Teixeira. At the other end, it was Vitor Gabriel who had the ball in the back of the net for Gangwon, only for that to be correctly ruled out for offside. He had another chance, the Brazilian, not long afterwards, and apart from a long-range free kick from Hong Che, that was all they could really manage, Gangwon, which means that at half-time of their opening game in the Asian Champions League Elite, it is Gangwon FC 0, Shanghai Shenhua 1.
Teaches us how to win, as well as how to accept defeat gracefully. They ought to develop a master next game. On this trail, boys, let your opponents and teammates remember your name. Let play a role in the future of football. Leave your mark.
So the team's coming back out for the second half of this inaugural Champions League Elite clash for both these sides. Gangwon FC of Korea Republic and Shanghai Shenhua of China PR. And it was that man on your screen, Teixeira, whose goal separates the sides in the first half, a stoppage time, and slightly cruel on Gangwon, who had the better of the first 45 minutes, and not the 46th. As Teixeira blasted past Kwang Yon. So a substitution for the visitors, and a pretty key one as well. That's a change of captain Ju Chenjie, who started the game, is off. And then coming on is Fulang Shisi Aidi, 34 years of age. Also goes by the name Eddie Francis. He's not played too much in the league this campaign. The replacement skipper just for 4 league games. And he should come on to bolster the defence. He can play all across it. Ju obviously occupying the central defensive role. And will Francis slot in there, or will they juggle it about fullbacks, given he can play on the right, although he primarily plays on the left. So Gangwon, the Korean Republic side, getting us underway in this second period, looking to avoid defeat on their Champions League Elite bout. With everything but score in the opening period. Can they be a bit more threatening this time around? Because they never forced bout. Xiong in the Shanghai Shenhua goal into a meaningful save. Just need to improve in that final third a little bit more. Lovely approach play from the Koreans. Move it around nicely. Got a reputation for being very proactive and direct, and easy on the eye. Gangwon FC, as they had their wonderful season last time around, finishing second, as said, having pushed Ulsan HD for much of the campaign. Ulsan clinching the trophy. Ulsan, the next opponents for Shanghai Shenhua in this Champions League Elite, and then after that they meet another Korean side and start their Eastern League phase with 3 straight meetings against Korean opposition FC Seoul. They'll be meeting on matchday 3 at the end of October. To Vitor Gabriel, who can't get on it, and he can now. Vitor Gabriel, and there's a little back pass, was that? Well, that's, I think, what the half-hearted claim from Vitor Gabriel is, and a possible foul as well. And the player down is Pyeongchan. Was he caught in a Shanghai Shenhua sandwich? Here we go. And then a heavy touch from Vitor Gabriel allowed Yang to play it back into Bao. Glimmers of openings for Gangwon. Look at that committed tackle coming in from Wong. And his opposite number, Pyeongchan, certainly felt the impact of that, the 29-year-old on the floor. Little break in play as Pyeongchan, who joined Gangwon in January, receives some treatment. 1 goal in 10 league games so far for the player currently on the floor. The Gangwon coach Kyung-ho makes his notes and works out how he's going to get back into this game. The regular captain of the side who's started this one on the bench, Lee Yu-hun, was talking before the game about how when he was an assistant manager last year at Kyung-ho, the players were a bit more friendly towards him and a bit more jokey. This year, since he's turned into a head coach, says Lee Yu-hun, the players are a little bit more cautious communicating with him. The distance created between the coach and his players, in a bid, no doubt, to instill some authority. Well, it looks like Che Pyeongchan is not going to be able to continue. Lots of options off the bench for Gangwon. And just the ferocity of that challenge by Wong seemingly means Pyeongchan is unable to continue. And here is one of those options. That's Kim Kun-hee, a veteran striker, 30 years of age now, the 30-year-old wears number 9 on his back. Kun-hee. He's got goals in his locker. As the substitutions wait to be made. Back underway. Well, Shanghai Shenhua squeezed through 7th out of the top 8 in the Eastern region last time around. And that took them into a round of 16 clash with Kawasaki Frontale of Japan, who they'd beaten in the league stage of the competition. And despite winning their opening leg in the round of 16 clash, to register 2 wins out of 2 against Kawasaki Frontale. It was in the 3rd where they really came out stunk. Shanghai Shenhua losing 4-0 to go down 4-1 on aggregate. And Kawasaki Frontale, the eventual runners-up in last season's Champions League Elite, to Al Ahly of Saudi Arabia. But it showed what Shanghai Shenhua can do. And the fact that they're in back-to-back Champions League Elite campaigns will be encouraging for them as well. Well, the free kick going Gangwon's way, and they've had plenty of them from this sort of area. Offered just a little bit too central, so needs the angle. Definitely needs a red head on the end of it. Kang-uk looking to make that happen, but it's a blue head that gets it away. I was saying that Shanghai Shenhua start off their campaign with 3 straight meetings against sides from Korea Republic. Gangwon, they meet Chinese opposition in their first 2 games. Is Chengdu Rongchen next, fellow debutants, and we'll be meeting in that clash in 2 weeks' time. And here come the substitutions. So Yoon Il-ok is among those going off. Sa Min-woo, wearing number 4, coming on. Also coming on, Kim Tae-wan. He's a forward. And Kang Uk, well, it's something of a surprise to see a central midfielder leave the pitch, given how hugely involved he's been in this game. So much has gone through him. Chance here for Gangwon to get level, striker goal, and they score their first ever goal in the Asian Champions League Elite. And the honour goes to the veteran of the side, Hong She, 34 years of age, a man who has lifted the trophy twice, has struck their very first goal for the Koreans to draw them level against Shanghai Shenhua. And it is no less than what they have deserved, Gangwon FC. And he didn't need any second invitation, just to let fly the left back and to pull his side level. Just did enough. And it's bobbled its way in, but he won't mind too much about that. His birthday tomorrow, and an early gift, not just to himself but also to that man. Hong She. Well, he's such an experienced figure. He's been named in the K-League's best 11 of the season on 4 separate occasions. The last time 6 years ago, and he was in his late 20s. It tells you a little bit about the measure of the man. And now, to the impartial observer, something of a fairer reflection on what we saw in the opening half. And as we approach the hour mark in this game, Gangwon will be delighted to be up and running. I wonder if Kyung-ho will be saying his substitutions made the impact, but to be fair, they'd all barely just got onto the pitch before Che found that equalising goal. And coming forward again, and they just needed a little bit more intensity in the final third, and they're beginning to find it now. Excellent run this in, but the whistle goes, and as Vitor Gabriel was presented with an open goal. Sohan showing his twinkling feet here. And he just got the bit between his teeth, and well, I think it was for that contact. He's got quite lucky there. Wong didn't do an awful lot wrong. Kim Tae-han perhaps beginning to grow into the game, to believe that he can play at this level. Beginning to show us a little bit more confidence and thus ability. Infringement by Yang Hao-yu. And a handful of teenagers in this Shanghai Shenhua side. Down the line, nicely playing. Men for the cutback if he can find him. Only finds Jin, who just turns it out and behind. Vitor Gabriel lurking. Well, it's one-way traffic since those substitutions for Gangwon. And suddenly Vitor Gabriel has got a lot more support. And the business end of the pitch for Gangwon. Bo Tae-han, the other substitution to come on, by the way. Another Korea Republic international. Nice layout from Vitor Gabriel. Taiwan, who's just come on, looking for the Brazilian, but just a little behind him. Can they keep up the intensity? And it's front foot stuff from Gangwon, thinking about the strike and then trying to put on the burners. And giving himself far too much to do. And there's a real intensity and seemingly belief as well about Gangwon. The half-time team talk must have done some good, and a further fillip would have been provided by the goal. And he can be fairly happy so far. Slutsky looking a little bit more concerned. He raised some doubts about his future ahead of this game, and saying he wasn't sure he'd be in charge for the next game, which is this one. That was after the draw against Shandong Taishan in the Chinese Super League a few days ago. The Chinese club under pressure to win a title for the first time in 30 years. And I feel that some of that heat is beginning to get through to their coaching staff. Here's Liu. Yang. Nice drop of the shoulder from Yang, but good defending, but he manages to get the ball in. And he's going to surely win his side at a corner as well. Did the whole ball go over the line? And it's Shanghai Shenhua's ball. Yang Sexiang with the throw. Here's Liu, back to his fellow China PR international. Well, they're forced backwards, the visitors, and going all the way back to goal as well. Well, Bao wasn't quite as central as Aidi thought. Sure. Almost nicely played as they try to break through the lines. Instead, it's Shanghai Shenhua coming forward. Yang Haoyu invited forward, into the middle he goes, and he wins his side of corner on this occasion. Well, the game beginning to be more end-to-end. The 19-year-old full of running. Yang looking instantly to try and find it to Liu in the middle. Gao Qianyi. Try to find Shanghai Shenhua ahead, as you can hear the Bahraini official, Amar Mahfoud. No pushing. Delivered in English. Gao, his turn to deliver. Outswinger headed away. Really important header as well by Ho Yan. That's neatly played. Gao again. Nice bend on it, but just too deep. And just too much power as well. And he had the room, and he certainly got the ability, Gao. Neatly played. Again, the possession. Managed to hold on to it. Vitor Gabriel, more of a bulldozer, charging through after the neat one-touch football. Still trying to tip-tap their way through. Careful precision passes. Very much the hallmark of Gangwon's play. Cut back. It does. It's still alive. And it's over the line, and Gangwon, who are trailing at half-time, are now leading within 20 minutes of the second half. Now, what a turnaround it's been for them. And Bo Punta has just about got that over the line. It was nice build-up from Gangwon. The shot came in, struck well, and it ricocheted, cannoned its way through to Punta. And he managed to beat Bao from close range. 2 goals in less than 10 minutes for the Korean side. This was the fine connection. And the Gangwon player was just the quickest to react as it spilled off Jin, who got his body in the way, not for the first time today. And then the hunger from Bo Punta, ensuring that Gangwon lead a game in the AFC Champions League Elite for the first time ever. It wasn't the most pleasing of goals, more eye-catching. They really won't worry about that. Look at the delight of those supporters behind the goal and the way in which the 25-year-old wheeled off in celebration. Pure delight. Bo Punta. Well, an extra impetus in the singing. Shanghai Shenhua scored with that first opportunity, and only real effort on goal as well all game. And now going to have to come out of their shell a little bit more. Nicely played into Gao. Just couldn't get the shot away. Nicely played. Tae-won, the substitute. A bit of space on the left-hand side. Vitor Gabriel. Tae-won in the middle, or just behind him now. Cher was overlapping, and it comes to the substitute. To the goal scorer. Substitutions coming from Shanghai Shenhua, but Gangwon still in possession for now. Tae-won. Opportunity for a striker goal here. And just cannons into Shanghai Shenhua. Defender. But they're beginning to shoot a whole lot more, Gangwon. Think they could go on get more here as well. Cher to Minu, who's just come on and taken the armband, the 27-year-old. Still, they have to wait on the touchline. Yu Han Chao and Wong Hai Jin. And Shanghai Shenhua subs. Gangwon very much in possession and in control. Cher. Minu. Ho Young. Still they're coming, just full of running. And a little bit of fancy footwork as well. The tricks are beginning to come out. You're in the 4th and final quarter. It's a little bit early to be showboating, one would imagine, especially in your first ever game in Asian club football. Minu stepped up from the back. Nice little triangles though on the edge of the box, but in the end they just run into trouble, and Shu picks it up and instantly dispossessed. Impressive press. Well, they look aside Gangwon, who have the invention to break teams down, especially if they play with a low block. And we're watching a little bit of that now. Nice ball round the corner, into the middle it goes. It's too far for Vitor Gabriel, but it'll stay alive for Gangwon. Che. And again. To Taewon. Ho Young, Minu. And Shanghai Shenhua just cannot get a touch. Still they wait, the substitutes. Vitor Gabriel does well. And when he went down, he wants the free kick. It's not coming his way. And Shanghai Shenhua finally get on the ball, and Liu is instantly pulled down. Will be a free kick in. And he might be lucky to avoid going into the referee's notebook as well for that clear tug on the shirt of Liu Chengyu. And now the substitutes do finally come on. Well, Gao among those going off. And so too Teixeira. And coming on, Yu Hanchao, a midfielder, very experienced, 38 years of age. And Wong Haijin will also sit in the midfield, but considerably younger at 25 years of age. For the China PR international. Well, you can understand if Gangwon feel that it might be time to slow things down a bit. And constantly sought to get forward most opportunities. And rarely has it been route one. Often it's just been a careful passes on the floor. So into Vitor Gabriel, the space in the middle if he can get it across. Jin with the block out behind for a corner, or would be, but for the fact that the offside flag has gone up. Well, we saw Kim Kun-hee warming up earlier. Never quite got on. Vitor Gabriel's work is done for today. He certainly caused a host of problems for the Shanghai Shenhua backline, who will be relieved to see him in his physicality depart. And on comes He, 30 years of age, 3 goals in the league so far this season. He was playing in the second division in Japan a few months ago, and now here he is playing in the Champions League Elite on the continent. Che. Shu knocking it forward really well, one back in the middle of the park. And given away. A bit of steel in this Gangwon AFC team, as well as the silk that they have shown. Coming forward again, and here's a first touch for Kun-hee. Out to his fellow substitute, Taiwan. Into the middle it goes. He's only just come on. He can't get the shot away. Kun-hee. Gangwon still coming forward. It's Space to deliver the cross. Drops the shoulder. In it comes. It's important. Connection from Bao. And still it's alive. Headed away. Anywhere will do, but they just didn't get it far enough. Yang, not the most convincing clearance. Into the mixer it goes. Header a goal. Header wide. And it stays 2-1 to Gangwon. Punta unable to get his second of the game, but they kept the pressure on Gangwon. That was a really important touch from Bao. And that was a nice, neat flick inside. You can see what he was trying to do, just guided inside the far post. But like his goal, it wasn't the cleanest of strikes, but on this occasion, just the wrong side of the post. Well, you want to win your home games in any league, and that is what Gangwon were doing ahead of their trip to China PR at the end of the month. If they could avoid defeat there, they would consider this, I'm sure, a really good start to that bow in this competition. Kunhee. Ho Young. Nicely played again from Gangwon. It's going to be a throw in though that goes Shanghai Shenhua's way. Wong with it. Just his 5th appearance today for the Chinese Super League side. Kunhee cutting it back. Well, the fans enjoying casual bit of control. And the man on the ball now, Min-U, showing his qualities, that 27-year-old. And a man who earned his first call-up to Korea Republic in June, playing in July's East Asian Championships, where the Koreans were beaten by Japan in the final. Well, that's asking a little bit much. They've managed to hold on to it, though, Gangwon. Well, for the last 15 minutes or so, Shanghai Shenhua have just had very, very little possession. Been chasing shadows, red shadows, for quite some time now. And Gangwon have shown very much that they're very able to keep hold of the ball, recycle it. Shanghai Shenhua, I'm sure, after the game will be thinking about the absences of those key players, Saulo and Andre Luis. Well, a heavy challenge has come in, and instantly there were protests from both the players and the fans. Now there's a real melee coming here. It was Yu Hanchao who went in too hard, the substitute. Really hasn't been on the pitch too long. And he has sparked a mini melee. And there's work here for Mahfoud to do. He's got the captain over. And little surprise that a yellow card shown to Yu Hanchao. Veteran in his late 30s, has said. Knows what it takes to win the Champions League, having done so with Guangzhou Evergrande 10 years ago. Hugely experienced figure, also won 5 CSL titles with Guangzhou Evergrande. But his first real contribution of note in this game. And that sliding challenge, which the Gangwon faithful did not react to well. Well, Cheng Yu has run, but he has not really impacted the game, the 19-year-old. Now the opportunity is to somebody barely older than him. Han Jia-wen, 21 years of age. More a midfielder than a central striker by trade, and a man who was part of the club's under-21s set up not so long ago. This is his 3rd appearance of the season, and yes, of course, the league phase is just beginning in the Champions League Elite, but the Chinese league is nearing its end. The final 5th of the season just about to get underway. I was going to say it's calmly played, but the pressing from Shanghai Shenhua beginning to receive its reward, and they've got a corner as well, and that was well done because they never gave up. And it looked as though Gangwon were just going to stylishly play their way out, but in the end, the blue press kept them keen. Shu with the delivery. Deep, and it just needs a blue head on it, and it got one, but there was no one knocking around trying to get the second ball. It was Han, the substitute, who got the contact. Che, whose equalising goal really turned things around. Could he? Well, he played it very early, and he played it pretty wayward. And there were opportunities there for Gangwon to put this game to bed. Minu. Nice little pirouette from Taiwan. Taiwan again. Deep cross in it to Kyun. He was at a hint of a handball. Well, there were no appeals in there, but for a moment it looks as though it might well have hit the hand of Aidi. Either way, Kyun Hee with a real opportunity there. And now the whistle does go, and just threatening to spill over at times, this game, which has largely been played in a very good spirit. Well, it's another substitute for Shanghai Shenhua into the book, and no less a figure than the captain. Yu brought down. And then it just all got very scrappy. Bao standing over this. He hasn't played as much in the league this season as I'm sure he would have liked. Just 6 appearances as opposed to nearly 30 last time around. But he was ever present in Shanghai Shenhua's Champions League Elite campaign last time around. And he's got the nod of his coach again. Bit of space, but really well closed down by those 2 deep-lying midfielders for Gangwon. Kyun Hee, Che, Taiwan. Kwang Yong. Hits it long to the tall figure of Kun Hee, but he just couldn't take it down well enough. Far too heavy a touch off his chest, but really well found by his goalkeeper. And a little bit of cramp as well, and well, that may well be understandable. The intensity of the game. He's being asked to leave the pitch, as you can see by the referee. He got the second goal, the match winner as it stands, but it looks like Puntara is not going to be able to finish this game. But if the game finishes at 2-1, he will have very, very pleasing memories. Joined the club 6 months ago, the 25-year-old. Hadn't assisted nor scored in the league this campaign, but now he's got that goal. Kang Yun-koo coming on. Was with Ulsan HD last season as they won the title. Gained Champions League experience with them a few years ago as well. And he is on. And one of Gangwon's 2 goal scorers off. Just under 5 minutes until we find out how much additional time. But at present, the tournament debutants are on for their first ever victory in the AFC Champions League Elite. Just got to see out a little bit of this play at the back. It's not just being hoofed away, it's being played out, and a real sign of confidence in their abilities from Gangwon as it goes over the halfway line, and no panic whatsoever at the back. Oh Young, really tall at the back, the 26-year-old, nearly 2 meters high. And they've got it as well, and they've got a bit of space. Chua. Minu. Hyun-tae. Nicely played for Chua. Yeah, Minu out to the right-hand side. But it's a throw that's going to go the visitors' way. Some tired faces going with some tired bodies out there. Well, the goal from Zhao Carlos Teixeira in first half stoppage time aside, Shanghai Shenhua just simply have not threatened Lee Kwang Yong in the Gangwon goal. And they've got just under 3 minutes to change that if they are going to get anything out of their first game in the group. I'm sure when they looked at the fixtures, they would have thought they might have got something out of this. A storming run here. Can they keep it alive? Chance to make it 3, but it was just overplayed. That could have sealed it for Gangwon. Instead, they've got defensive work to do, which Kwang Yong does very comfortably. 26-year-old. Caps at youth level for his country. And he knocks it forward. And Wong will concede a throw-in. The wrong end of the pitch as far as Shanghai Shenhua and that man, their coach, is concerned. This is his 74th game in charge. He won his 50th. I should say he had 50 wins from his first 73 games. 2 Chinese FA Super Cups, says Slutsky, the former coach of Russia. And he's very much focusing on the run into the Chinese Super League. Ho Young with the header. Kun-hee just a little bit loose. Aidi. And Ho Young just pops that out as we enter the 90th minute. And Gangwon, a club founded just 17 years ago, on the verge of beginning to make their mark on the continent's football. Well, that was loose and wayward. We've not seen that too much from the Koreans. Their possession has been very, very impressive. And they've just got to hold on for whatever additional time is added on. Six minutes of additional time, and a few groans from some inside the Chuncheon Songgam Sports Town Stadium. How nervy 6 minutes will it be? Yang with the header. Oh, just a little bit scrappy, is it? Pinballs around and once again given up to the opponents. Aidi. To no one in particular. And that will suit the home side very, very well. And Shanghai Shenhua take on the CSL leaders, Chengdu Rongchen, on Sunday. And of course the Champions League Elite debutants. Kun-hee in behind. Can Gangwon seal the victory here? He's come a long way out of goal. Bao. And that cross will not find the player in red. Striker goal just over the crossbar. Well, that fizzed over from the substitute, Yun-koo. He did wonder if Kun-hee was going to find somebody with his cross. Instead, the opportunity came Yun-koo's way. Some decent power behind it. Not a lot of backlift either. Just into the side netting. That would have been some way to wrap up the win. Well, they've had terrific support all game. Gangwon. Their home matches regularly draw crowds of around 10,000 or so. Often a lively atmosphere. Seemingly genuine belief in the team's direction of travel. Excitement too, of course, given what happened last season and what may well happen this. Not in the K-League, of course, but in this competition. Shanghai Shenhua trying to spoil their party. But harried, harassed. And look at the desire to win the ball. Too much desire, though. And Park Ho-young. Shanghai Shenhua will have a free kick midway through the 6 additional minutes at the end of the game. Jin with the delivery. Very, very deep. And the keeper comes. And the second attempt, Kwang Yong gathers. He may well run down the clock a little bit as well if he's going to stay down on the floor. just far too deep with the delivery, and absolutely wasn't going to be finding a teammate like that. Fang Yong back up. And that's instantly going to be an infringement. And you just knew Jin, the player, falling to the floor. Trying to spark something for Shanghai Shenhua, a really good header. And then for once they do just hack it anywhere into the Chuncheon sky. And they go long again. Could he? And he's got the height. And Gangwon have the ball. Cher. Not enough on that, but they get the throw. And they stay in the right half of the pitch as far as they're concerned, Gangwon. Cher looking forward, still alive. Nice turn and twist. Into the middle it goes. Can they make it three? They can't. Oh, he was put on a plate in the final minute just to seal the win. But the substitute, Taewon, just could not keep his strike down. Expertly found in the end. He just didn't get his head over the ball. You can see what he was trying to do, aim for the top left-hand corner. He flew far higher than that. Did run down the clock a little bit. Just over 20 seconds or so to go. All eyes turning to the Bahraini official. Gangwon looking to seal the win in style. Into the middle it goes, and Bao at the second attempt gathers. Well, they were queuing up at the far post. Is there time for Shanghai Shenhua to snatch something? Well, that's a really important header from Ho Young. And you might imagine that that's enough, and it is enough, because at the very first time of asking, Gangwon FC of Korea Republic have won a game in the AFC Champions League Elite, and they had to do it the hard way, coming down from a goal down against Shanghai Shenhua of the People's Republic of China to score two quick-fire goals in the second half through their veteran left-back Hog Cher, and then through Bo Punta as well, who struck from close range. João Carlos Teixeira had given the visitors the lead against the run of play at the end of the first half. But Gangwon have delivered. What a moment for them, and they will now approach the rest of the campaign with optimism. It has ended in Chuncheon, Gangwon 2, Shanghai Shenhua 1.